How do you feel right now?
Shenhe! And the Conqueror of Demons.
Why don't you say something? Okay, fine. Paimon will explain. We're looking for an Adeptus who's good at being alive, but if the Adepti aren't gonna stay home, then how are we supposed to find them?
It wasn't me.
Yeah, so this Adeptus is most likely a woman.
And I am not an Adeptus, as you both already know, Traveler and Paimon.
Okay, no way Paimon would have suggested this idea if she'd known how awkward this was gonna be.
Glad you're okay. As far as I know, the one you seek is no Yaksha. And one last thing. Your actions here caused others a great deal of worry. Do not repeat them again in the future.
As ever, the Conqueror of Demons comes and goes, just like the wind.
Right. I didn't dare to say a word just now. How's your training going, Shenhe? Have you made any plans for LanternRite? We could spend it together in Liyue Harbor if you'd like.
Oh, I had planned to spend the festival with Master this year. However...
Oh, speaking of Cloud Retainer...
Earlier this morning, I noticed she was using an Adeptus art of some kind to protect a mechanism that looked like a...
So we just missed her. Please excuse me for a moment. I think I'll leave the gift...
Sure. Thank you.
It sounds like Ganyu and Shenhe have gotten a lot.
Yes. During the summer and winter, I continue to train with Master. In the other months of the year, I have been learning to adapt to human life in Liyue Harbor. Ganyu arranged accommodations for me in the city, and also recommended several work positions for me. But when I try to blend in by referring to her as Miss Ganyu or... sometimes I'm supposed to copy other people. Sometimes I'm not. Oh, so you came looking for Master today because you want...
Yep. Oh, speaking of that, have you ever heard any
music?
It's...
Okay, I'm done. I also left her a note so that she knows where to find us. We won't miss her again.
Yay! That's...
We were just talking about this thing called music, and based on Paimon's description...
Oh, really?
In times gone by, one quarreled oft with Guizhong concerning mechanical principles. We each had our ideals, and neither would yield. Under the pretext of a social gathering, one invited the impartial Rex Lapis to judge the quality of our creations. But Rex Lapis declared that Guizhong's Obscuro Vulpus mechanism was superior. Though one was too proud to acknowledge it, in one's heart, one knew that Guizhong was indeed the superior talent in the mechanical arts. As for the story between Guizhong and Streetward Rambler, that begins with a certain bell. In Guizhong's opinion, while mechanisms were no substitute for human composers, they were yet capable of producing simple but fine melodies. But Streetward Rambler believed music to be an expression of the soul, an emotional enterprise that could never hope to be replicated by machinery. They argued endlessly, until one asked Rex Lapis to intercede. He confiscated the bell and designated it for ceremonial use. Thereafter, one would often find them convening in the mountains, discussing music, mechanics, and all the affairs of the mortal world. But these good times were not to last. War broke out between the gods, and soon engulfed the Guili Plains. Guizhong was overpowered by the enemy, and fell in battle. When Streetwood Rambler and I arrived at the scene at long last, all that remained among the ruins was her lifeless body. After this, at Streetwood Rambler's request, Rex Lapis granted her the cleansing bell for safekeeping. To honor our friend's memory, one made a few finishing touches to her ballistic device. Many LanternRites have passed since then. Many greetings and goodbyes. Upon what do you gaze? The Guili Plains?
No. It's everything. We think of human life as like a lantern that's lit one minute and extinguished the next. But are we Adepti so different? Perhaps as dust settles after a storm, we too must one day return to the world below.
One has always been austere and private by nature, and has never relished socializing. One's dealings with Guizhong were born out of discussions on the discipline of mechanics.
What? You have loads of friends, and you seem pretty chatty.
Just because one is not ignorant of social graces does not mean one is fond of them. One is perfectly capable of partaking in conversation despite being introverted. But in the end, one is nothing like Streetward Rambler. She is dauntless but thoughtful, not to mention eloquent and wise. Moreover, her friendship with Guizhong was far greater than one's own. Back when they were rivals, they would often compete against one another in the realm of musical composition. That cleansing bell was one of Guizhong's proudest works, having the ability to both compose and perform.
Wait, that's weird. Didn't Madame Ping say she pestered an old friend for that bell? And she also said something about being a vain beauty when she was young or something.
Streetward Rambler, a vain beauty. My foot. That bell has a sad history. Clearly, she refrained from sharing with you the truth of its origins, since the right time had not yet come. As for her old friend, who else could it be? As soon as Streetward Rambler heard that a certain Zhang Li wished to borrow the bell, she realized that the man was none other than Rex Lapis, and that he had made an enormous decision. After all, we all have known each other for several millennia. Some things between us are implicitly understood.
Whoa! So they were talking in secret code? Oh, Paimon didn't...
Enough of your intrusions. Where was one up to? Ah, yes. One remembers now. The cleansing bell is powered by a mechanical art, and can be used to great effect as an accompanying instrument. After the passing of its creator, it was used on numerous occasions during rites of parting. But Streetward Rambler did not acquire it from Rex Lapis for the purpose of producing further funerary tunes. No. Each time she rang it, it was to play the tune that Guizhong composed on it. The two once clashed over their beliefs about the meaning of music. Who would have thought that with Guizhong's passing and Streetward Rambler's mourning, two tunes composed in discord would eventually become one harmonious composition? Once upon a time, Streetward Rambler also loved gatherings, liquor, and music. But after Guizhong passed, she preferred her own company. She could often be found sitting alone at a mountain summit, contemplating and reminiscing with her zither. The music would go from mournful to soothing to impassioned. Many years passed before she finally composed a melody to her satisfaction. In celebration, she played the tune to the clouds. Regrettably, one has only ever heard her play that tune once. Which brings one back to the matter you've been investigating. Perhaps it was during that performance that the ancestor of your Fontaine friend fell into the water and was saved by Streetward Rambler.
But if she was so happy with the melody, why would she only play it once?
One was also greatly perplexed by this. After suppressing one's curiosity for a long while, one finally approached her. In response, she said, "Though the strings that played that melody survive, the one who inspired it is gone. Tell me, Cloud Retainer, when the one attuned to my soul is no longer here, who else could hope to understand this tune?"
Aw, poor Madam Ping.
I just remember being taken care of by you when I was young. Once the Archon War came to an end, I stayed behind in Liyue Harbor to honor my contract. Although I met Guizhong a few times, I never knew anything of this particular story.
Guizhong was quite the visionary, but tragically passed before her time. Her manuscripts still lie unfinished in the realm of clouds. Blank pages give one cause for contemplation on what might have been. Had you not decided to search for that mystery Adeptus, perhaps these stories too would have been lost to the sands of time. As of now, you know the truth. That the Adeptus who rescued the drowning man was none other than Streetwood Rambler. Do you intend to discuss this with her?
Do you mean Ping might find the topic too distressing?
Precisely. The passing of our old friend is a heavy topic that both of us are usually careful to avoid.
If I may be so bold, Cloud Retainer, could it—
Oh? How so?
I've been in Liyue Harbor for quite a long time now, and I've witnessed many but this doesn't bring the city or its people to a stand. Someone as perceptive and wise as Ping will surely have come to understand and embrace this. Though these immortal mountains have lost an Adeptus, the harbor of mortals has gained a wise elder. No loss can ever be undone, but there is always much that can still be gained. Ping has helped countless people, and will guide many others in the years to come. And all to whom she extends a helping hand become her friends. People she can admire flowers and discuss music with. Though it is heartbreaking to lose a kindred spirit.
We even asked Madam Ping what she thought about adding a music festival to... When we get back, why don't we just ask her if she'd like to perform?
You youngsters and your imaginations.
Why don't you come with us? It's been a long time since you last spoke with Ping, and Liyue Harbor is always decorated so beautifully during the festival period.
Is not every LanternRite the same in this regard?
I disagree. Each new day and each new year is different from those.
The edibles she brought this time were indeed quite delectable. Very well.
Let me think. Yes, I do believe I recall that encounter. What a long time ago that was. I'm surprised that you still remember it. Even more astonishing, perhaps, is the fact that this story has survived this long at all, when mortal lives are so very brief. It appears that she has proven herself right once again.
Who's she?
We like to call her Guizhong. From the look in Cloud Retainer's eyes, I sense that she has already told you all about her.
Albeit reluctantly, one might add.
There is no harm done. After all, LanternRite's very purpose is to commemorate the heroes who gave their lives for Liyue. Although Guizhong did not live to see the splendid sights of today, she was as much a hero as any other.
So, how has she...
Once upon a time, she said to me that humans were a weak form of...
Mr. Dvorak? He's already gone. Before we set off on our search with Ganyu, he asked us about what music means to people. After our recent adventure...
Please, share your insights with me.
Well, we found out that music can be used for good, but also for bad. It can make people happy and moved, but it can also be sad and bittersweet. And music is like a kind of memory written in people's hearts. It can put you in touch with feelings from a totally different time and place.
It sounds like you had an eventful trip.
Wait, does that mean you're gonna carry on working?
Mm-hmm. Just a few things to wrap up. All the groundwork. As long as everyone enjoys the festival activities, all our efforts are worthwhile. Happy LanternRite to you as well.
That ship... Paimon feels like she's forgetting something. Shoot! Latent... Wait, no. Zhangli said he wasn't in a hurry, so anyway, even if we don't make it, it's not our fault. Anyway...
Wow, so lively! This is how a festival should be.
Da 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 da. Da da da. Oh.
All right, let's take a break here.
Oh wow, look who it is! Are you here to hang out with everyone's favorite funeral director?
So you're just casually practicing your rapping skills at the entrance to your funeral parlor? In broad daylight? Okay.
After everything we've been through, you don't see me for a hot minute, and you're back to being scared of your own shadow. We have all this open space, a clear view of the mountains behind and the sea in front.
Invisible audience members?
Gotta say, it took me a Xinyan was pretty spooked too when she first got here. Just like when she sees a frog, but come on, knock it off. What's wrong? I've never seen someone look so confused before. Well, don't worry, because Director Who's here to explain it all. There once was a Fontaine musician who went around town on a mission. He came door to door for his iridescence tour, looking for acts to audition. With my words, Shinyan's chorus, and Yunjin as our mentor, we'll take the stage by storm with flames roaring and the whole audience calling for more.
For sure! The whole dance floor will be yelling encore! Encore!
Oh, don't you worry about that. I'm pretty experienced on the stage.
Huh. Guess we'll just have to trust Xinyan on this.
Oh, Zhongli. He took one of those fancy meal boxes and set off for the mountains. Said it's a real pity that he couldn't be around for this. As well as being a true connoisseur of traditional art forms, he's able to appreciate Xinyan's performances too.
Yeah, that's right. To tell the truth, though, I never thought...
Well, now you know. I can speak to that.
And jump scares.
Actually, Xinyan, I have some lyric ideas for your part.
Oh, sure thing.
Oh, Traveler in Paimon. I believe Zhongli was heading to... when you see Zhongli, please pass on this message to him. You should join us too. It'll...
Paimon sees them! It's illuminated deer! And illuminated bird number 2!
A familiar face.
Everything's great! But you know, if you're so curious, you can always go and check it out for yourself!
In fact, Mooncarver has been taking many walks on Mount Tianheng in recent times. I believe the sights of the city are quite familiar to him.
Zhongli! Here you are! We've brought the bamboo shoots you wanted.
Impeccable timing. Traditionally, bamboo shoot soup ought to be slow-cooked for many hours on low heat. Using Adeptus arts to hasten the process is something of a shortcut.
Wait, that mechanism... is that...
Indeed. Cloud Retainer kindly lent me her supreme cuisine machine.
Can we not just call it a cooking machine? Actually, never mind. She seems to take a lot of pride in her mechanical gizmos, so it's probably best if Paimon doesn't go changing the name willy-nilly.
I trust that you found the answers you were seeking during your recent journey? Excellent. The past should be remembered, but not overly dwelt upon. Our journey should be seen as a means to take on more from the world around us. When the bamboo shoot soup is ready, I must insist that you try some for yourself.
Oh, Zhongli! Hu Tao told us to tell you something. She said, it's up to him whether he wants to support us at the performance tonight, but I expect him to make time for the upcoming banquet we're planning. No excuses! When she says performance, she must mean the LanternRite Music Festival. As for the banquet, she didn't tell us anything more about that, but she invited us to come as well.
As you can see, I have a prior engagement with 2 Adepti friends of mine tonight. Please, give Director Hu my best wishes for the performance. As for the banquet, since the Director insists, far be it from a mere consultant like myself to refuse.
Yay! Then we'll see you there?
Absolutely.
Rex Lapis, the bamboo shoot soup is ready.
Thank you. I will examine it right away. The appearance is exquisite, and the aroma rich and intense. The craftsmanship of this machine is commendable indeed. Since you came all this way, you should not leave empty-handed. Please, take some soup. It tastes most exquisite while still warm.
I'm honored to be here on the Iridescence Tour stage. All right, without further ado, I'm Xinyan, this is Hintao, and this is a little something called...
The Flame Lilies!
I'm up here blazing trails through the midnight sky, lighting up the world below. And when the crowds all hear my voice, they'll meet the spirit of rock and roll.
Let's go! Hey, you butterfly, you two buzzing by, guiding your way to the afterlife, opening the path without a fright. Oh, I'll light the fire, watch it blaze across the universe. I'll spit my rhymes, watch your step, or you'll get burned. Hey, woo!
Does anyone have any plans tomorrow? With another year behind us, I think we deserve a celebration of our own. My treat. Interested?
The Tianquan footing the bill? I can't miss out on that.
Master, listen!
May the year ahead be a blessed one.
I believe it shall be.
Master, the Xiao Lanterns,
Ha! Elementary. One shall fashion for you a Xiao Lantern the likes of which the world has never seen. And you must take it to Liyue Harbor to display its magnificence for all.
Listen! That must be Madame Ping!
Oh. I see. So the important guest is the conqueror of demons. I've been looking forward to meeting you. The director didn't mention anything when she invited us. What a pleasant surprise. Gathered here with us tonight are not only young and accomplished individuals, but also the protector of Liyue's peace, Adeptus Alatus. To convene here with all of you is indeed a great honor.
It's almost LanternRite, yet you took all the trouble coming here.
The director has a way of making it difficult to decline.
Rex Lapis, may I ask what troubles you?
The director asked me to buy sesame oil in preparation for the celebrations.
Huh. Then why would you come all the way to Wangshu Inn?
I had a pleasant chat with Chef Yin Xiao and received some spices from him. And, see? Here's some matsutake and a portion of ham.
What about the sesame oil?
It's a shame. I couldn't find the kind the director was looking for.
I'm sure you're exaggerating, Zhang... Sir.
There he goes again. Enough with the pleasantries. Go let our guests take a seat. Everyone here today is well known in their own field and has probably heard about one another to some extent. Some of us are even old acquaintances, so there's no need to be this formal. I heard that the Conqueror of Demons and the Traveler are pretty close, no? Great! You two sit together.
You should take a seat too, Director.
Oh? Finally remembered me? When we arrived just now, the hosts at Xinyue Kiosk told me our dishes are almost ready. Perfect timing. Let's not wait any longer and ask them to bring out the food. Paimon would have never guessed the person who Tao went to fetch was Xiao.
Oh, that's also the first I've heard of the Traveler and Paimon being friends with the Conqueror of Demons.
You know Xiao Chu?
Knowing is a bit of an overstatement. I've always looked up to him. You might not know this, Paimon, but we exorcists have worked in close collaboration with the Conqueror of Demons for many generations, dispelling evil together, both in the open and from the shadows. Hard to imagine that thanks to Hu Tao, I've finally gotten the chance to meet him. Conqueror of Demons, I'm honored to make your acquaintance.
Likewise.
It is a great honor indeed to have a chance to meet the legendary Conqueror of Demons. Changyun has brought that name up quite a few times in the past. I remember you mentioning wanting him to understand the importance of exorcists.
We know each other too. He helped try my dishes during the Masterful Chef's cook-off. I didn't think we'd have the chance to meet again. Happy LanternRite.
No anecdote, however, compares to meeting you in person. I'm Xingqiu, Shangling and Changyun's friend. The pleasure is all mine.
Whoa, everyone's getting all formal and polite. Adeptus Xiao, mighty conqueror of demons. Paimon tried very hard to look for a fancy word, okay? Don't be too harsh on Paimon!
There's no need to be so polite.
You're right. This was meant to be a nice little get-together between friends after all. Too much formality kills the atmosphere. I didn't plan this gathering only for everyone to walk on eggshells. Hiya. What's your true intention, then? A little get-together between friends, sipping the finest tea and watching lanterns float into the sky, bidding farewell to the past, and embracing the present with joy. And that is something our consultant would say. I think it deserves a standing ovation.
Indeed. Exceptional acting skills, Director.
As for me, I'm just here to have fun and treat everyone to something good. We all worked really hard this year. Whether traveling or guiding, cooking, helping with the family business, exorcising evil spirits, or conquering demons. And of course, our consultant, who's been helping out at the parlor every now and then. Everyone has done some pretty amazing things. As the one who brought everyone together, it goes without saying that I'm the one most deserving of praise. Huh? Sounds kinda self-important, but...
It wasn't as complicated as you think.
Okay, gotcha. Thanks, boss lady.
It's not boss lady, just boss. And there she goes. What a lively girl.
Conqueror of Demons, Adeptus Xiao. Guardian of Wangshu Inn, hero of Dihua Marsh. I know you're there.
Quiet. Do not disturb the peace.
But you wouldn't show up if I didn't yell your name, would you?
I know you. You're the 77th director of Wangsheng Funeral Parlor. Is there something you need?
That does sound like one of Hu Tao's antics.
Did the Conqueror of Demons agree to come so that Hu Tao would stop pestering him?
There might be other reasons.
Smart guess. Huh? There's more to it? It gets pretty boring from here on. I talked about the funeral parlor's past relationships with the guardian yakshas. You know, just to be sociable.
In the time of the Archon War, disputes were frequent, and disaster overtook the land. Humans couldn't escape from the torment of the plague, nor could they escape death. The Adepti vanquished the demons, the Millelith fought valiantly, and Wangsheng Funeral Parlor was responsible for purifying the diseased and sending off the spirits of the dead. That is how the border between life and death was maintained during the war. And it effectively prevented further incidents from happening.
That's right. 1 point for the consultant. But despite our deep-rooted connection, it still took me quite a while to actually convince him. You know him pretty well, huh?
This matter is out of my control, so I need to be cautious.
True, but I've kept that in mind too. That's why everyone here today is in one way or another acquainted with elemental power. Besides, it'll only be for a short while as we dine together. There won't be any lasting consequences.
But I didn't expect there to be so many people.
There's no need to worry, Conqueror of Demons. We're not feeling anything unusual so far. Our young exorcist over here is protected by his pure yang energy, so he's probably the most resilient.
That's not the same. And did you just toss your carrots into my bowl? Hey, don't look away.
Huh? What?
I'm siding with Chongyun. I saw that too. You're lucky Guoba isn't here today. He hates seeing people being picky with their food. If he'd seen that, he'd definitely make you eat all your carrots.
Huh? Guoba would do that? Is he that uncompromising? But now that I think of it, Xianglin told me that Guoba used to be the stove god.
It sounds like you've heard the rumors.
I'm doing fine. Not long ago, before LanternRite, I met an old friend. Thanks to his help, things have been a lot more stable than before.
Right! Wait, what?
Seeds of story, brought by the wind.
And cultivated by time. Did Paimon just unconsciously complete the thing? That voice. Could it be? If I'm not mistaken, there's someone knocking at the door. Don't just sit there, Zhongli. Go welcome our guest in.
No such need. I'm coming in. You finally let me in. Hello, hello. No matter if we've met before or not, this moment marks a brand new encounter. Old friends and new, happy LanternRite.
Oh, it's the tone-deaf bard. Oh, he seems to carry a valiant breeze wherever he goes. It looks like we're gonna be friends. Fate has brought us together, so come on, take a seat and be my guest. Help yourself.
This young lady here is as bright as a fresh bouquet of flowers in the morning's rising sun. She no doubt is the one with the most authority here. Whoa, these dishes look amazing. Is it real?
Huh, it's you.
Oh, isn't this Zhenyu?
Zhenyu?
Yup. Now that I've taken a closer look, you're a fan of Zhenyu's works, aren't you? I met Xingqiu at a light novel convention. How I wish we'd met sooner. I never expected that there'd be another person in this world who could interpret Zhenyu's new novel as thoroughly as I could.
Venti, you're being too humble. Considering your poetic talent, your fundamentals are way more impressive.
Could this new guest be Master Xingqiu's friend?
Yes. Monsters become more active than usual as we get closer to LanternRite. I was patrolling Dihua Marsh a few days ago, when I happened to run into this...
You've already forgotten? I'm a bard, remember? And bards go around singing wherever they like.
Oh, right. And this bard was performing in Dihua Marsh. It was a moving melody, and it made me feel relaxed and at ease. I couldn't help but stay and listen.
Thank you for your patronage.
I understand now, too. I'm Zhongli, currently working at the Wangsheng Funeral Parlor. It's a pleasure to meet you, new friend.
And I'm his boss. Oh, and if there's anything unsatisfactory, let me know anytime.
That's very considerate of you.
Oh? No wonder. Only a boss as savvy and reliable as you would be able to hire such an impressive consultant.
Oh, you're too nice, Venti. Not to brag, but our consultant truly is impressive. His knowledge extends across the stars and the land, and there's nothing throughout history that he doesn't know. From the sophisticated way he speaks, it's hard not to suspect that he could very well be an adeptus in disguise. Shao, you're an adeptus. Do you think it might be possible?
Sorry. I'm only good at conquering demons. I'm afraid I don't have much knowledge in that matter.
Really? But Paimon thinks you're super knowledgeable. Huh? Oh, right! Xiao's a warrior. He doesn't come to the city very often, so it's,
Really? I've actually heard a few things about Mr. Zhongli before. The guests in the tavern talked about this refined and courteous man who, instead of having wine at Mondstadt's finest tavern, ordered a cup of hot tea with the most complex name.
Now that you mention it, I seem to recall that there indeed is a musician like yourself in Mondstadt. I've heard that he's elegant and amiable, his works witty and vibrant. It's no overstatement to regard him as the best bard in Mondstadt.
Now you're making me embarrassed. I would say that Mondstadt's poetry is a little run-of-the-mill sometimes. There's one I heard a while back that went, The meaning's there, but the word choices are unimaginative, and there's a...
I think so too. The composition, if I were to give it a go, an old melon on a vine, a new flower that grows fine.
Oh, good one! It feels unique and has a nice ring to it.
You have great taste, Venti. I was afraid about you. Let's shake hands.
Of course!
Hey, Xingqiu! Mind lending me a few books when we get back? Pick out some well-written ones. I don't know if it's my own lack of literary knowledge, but I couldn't tell the difference between those two.
I don't think it's your fault.
Chongyun's right. It's not our fault.
Oh, you have a point. But speaking of, why is the tone-deaf bard here? Are you here to take part in LanternRite too?
I heard that Liyue will be hosting a LanternRite music festival this year. As a musician myself, how could I possibly resist the temptation to come take a look? Or listen. Getting to know other musical styles is essential to sparking inspiration, don't you think? As for the Fontaine friend who hosted the festival, I saw him near Stone Gate the other day. The Iridescence tour has finally been held successfully for once, so I had to congratulate him. Don't think anything of it. By the way,
I was watching as you entered Shinyue kiosk, but no one seemed to notice me. Should I say that it's because I'm an expert in hiding, or that a certain someone deliberately ignored the sound of the wind?
Whenever LanternRite comes around, Liyue Harbor becomes bustling with activity. People are all busy watching the lanterns and strolling around the shops, and they might just go travel somewhere on a whim. It is rather difficult to predict another's whereabouts. The festival is in full swing and proceeding smoothly, and we're all gathered here with friends, new and old. This is no doubt a wonderful occasion worth celebrating. To come together with all of you at the beginning of the year, one can't help but be filled with joy. In a moment like this, I propose we raise a glass together. In my case, tea in lieu of wine.
Very well said, Mr. Zhongli. That was exactly what I wanted to say. Now I'm getting a little self-conscious. I didn't cause you too much trouble barging in like that, did I? We usually drink wine during occasions like this over in Mondstadt, but since Mr. Zhongli insists on drinking tea, I'll give a toast with tea too. Everyone, thanks for the treat.
You're welcome. As the host of this gathering, I hope everyone enjoys the food and drinks. May this year be better than the last. Considering that everyone may have other matters to attend to later, sticking to tea seems like a good idea. All of a sudden, they started proposing toasts.
What's with the urgency? Sure.
Have you two finished eating? It's always nice to have a breath of fresh air after a meal. Helps with digestion. Paimon will come too. Yeah? Okay then. Don't forget to come back.
Are you all right? It's hard to describe. It's not that. There were those among the Adepti who loved gatherings and idle chit-chat. Sometimes they would call up a few others for a drink. Even I got dragged along to their gatherings many times. The Adepti all have their specialties, making most of them proud and arrogant. Everything they say is straight from the heart. It never gets too complicated. But this time... No. I didn't mean that. So you know his true identity. I'll get straight to the point then. The Animo Archon is a free spirit, and his temperament is as carefree as the music he plays on the flute. It's easy for a god like him to live in harmony with humans, and that's something I might never be able to do. That does sound like something you would say. No matter. I know my circumstances. Whenever I think of the ordinary conversations I've had with you, it feels strangely novel. Yes. The parlor director went out of her way with the invitation, so it was difficult to turn her down. I had made mental preparations before agreeing to come. She told me that all the guests today would be acquainted with elemental power, and I knew that you would be here. But I didn't expect the other guests to be... General Capisis always said that we should live in the present and enjoy every pleasant surprise. Perhaps that's what I should do with what I'm feeling now. But I think he meant designing clothes for those around him. The clothes were intricately designed, but inconvenient to wear. Brother Bosacius never tried to hide his distaste in front of him. Rex Lapis did like his designs and even collected quite a few. The outfit he wears now was also designed by General Capisis himself. I never saw him wear this during the war. I didn't expect him to start wearing it later.
Oh, here you are. I'm not intruding, right?
You're not. What is it?
Hu Tao saw that everyone's done eating and asked the staff to bring out the desserts. Paimon got so anxious that you weren't back yet that she scarfed down her dessert without the usual slurping and munching. To be honest, I was kind of worried too. You looked a little restless just now, and I thought you weren't used to the food here and was planning to head back to Wangshu Inn for something Yanxiao made.
You're worrying too much. Why would I? Anyway, let's head back.
Please wait! There's another reason why I came looking for you. Here, take these. I brought them for you.
Almond tofu?
Yup. Since the Masterful Chef's competition, you could say that Yanxiao and I are not only competitors, but good friends as well. I visit him at Wangshu Inn sometimes to discuss our cooking. I heard him say that the esteemed guest on the roof loves nothing more than a good plate of almond tofu, so I learned a thing or two about the dish from him. I'll be honest, before Hu Tao invited everyone, she secretly came looking for me, told me about the guests she planned to invite, and asked me for some suggestions on what she should order. So I made a few servings of almond tofu for you guys in advance. Take them as a token of gratitude for your support. When I told Guoba that I was making these for you, he started eagerly running around the kitchen and helping a lot too.
Thank you for the trouble. There was no need to... I'll take them. Thank you. And Guoba too.
You're welcome. Oh, the almond tofu I made probably tastes and feels a little different from the type Yanxiao cooks. Please let me know if there's any improvements I should make.
Okay.
That's all. Alrighty, we should head back now. We can't keep Paimon waiting. You're finally done whispering secrets to each other? So much for promising Paimon you'll be back soon. How could you say that to Paimon? In that case, besides having no sense of time, Paimon will let you know what having no sense of fullness looks like. Your dessert is all Paimon's.
Sorry to keep everyone waiting.
No worries, we're all just chatting here. There's no serious business to take care of. Whether we're chatting outside or inside, it's all the same. Paimon's too busy eating to talk to you. But even though we're all well acquainted by now, I think this festive gathering deserves something ceremonious. Oh? Is this some local custom? Nope. This is something I made up so that good luck will be on our side, that's all. Spontaneity is the best choice to make here. Let's use this incense burner on the table. It's been lit for so long now that the incense is running out. I'll leave refilling and lighting the incense to the most distinguished guest among us all. Lighting the incense will signify continuous growth and prosperity in all our endeavors in the new year.
I see. Perfect symbolism, as expected of Hu Tao. And speaking of the most distinguished guest here today, I'm sure we all agree that it's Mr. Zhongli. I'm not very familiar with the details of his past deeds, but chatting with him has been a real eye-opener, even for a bard who has traveled all across the world. If knowledge were a form of power, one could even say that you're a wielder of unlimited strength.
But when it comes to having a way with words, the notable bard is certainly one cut above the rest. I just happen to have a good memory. It is such an unexceptional skill, yet you made it sound like an unparalleled talent. I am truly impressed. Since we all get to nominate someone... I think it's only fair that we let the parlor director light the incense.
Huh? That won't do. Don't flatter me just because I'm your boss. We are looking for the most distinguished guest here. As the host, I shouldn't be involved in this discussion at all. Now that we've enjoyed this table full of delicacies, how about we let our one and only chef here do the honors? Is this really the way this works? I didn't cook any of these dishes. It's not a big deal. Just look at her. Xiangling, the disciple of an Adeptus, the Stove God's best companion, the winner of the Masterful Chef's competition. The only heir of the famous Wan Min restaurant. A good old friend of mine. There's no better choice. Why does Paimon feel like we're back at square one again? Please stop! You're making me embarrassed. If we're looking for a distinguished guest, surely the second son of the Feiyun Commerce Guild counts. It's one of the largest commerce guilds in Liyue Harbor.
Huh? Don't get...
Oh, not a bad choice. With the commerce...
That's not how it works. Making a fortune is indeed a fine wish. Which means we should choose Chongyun.
Huh? I can't be the one when we have the... Adeptus Xiao has the most senior...
I refuse. I am most certainly not the most distinguished guest here. You should all be able to make the right judgment based on your observations. One person here is well acquainted with everyone else.
Oh, that's right! Even though you're always mocking Paimon, you're still pretty popular with other people. No, wait! Paimon said she wouldn't talk to you again. Huh? Who else is there? Huh? Huh? Does that mean Paimon's the most distinguished guest? Oh, well, that was unexpected!
I agree. Paimon's just the one we need. Without a friend constantly by your side, a long journey would become dreadfully lonesome. But once you have someone there to brighten up the atmosphere, everything along the way will become lively and vibrant too.
Ah, the traveler has traversed many nations and left behind a great deal of fascinating stories. But without Paimon, they would have become quite monotonous. Paimon plays an indispensable role in making your journey a happy and smooth one.
You guys, Paimon's not used to being praised like that. Those were genuine compliments, right? Thank you. You made Paimon wait for a long time, but Paimon's not mad anymore.
Don't take everything to heart, Paimon. Friends tease each other all the time.
That is indeed true.
That means Paimon is as important to the traveler as Guoba is to me. Looks like we've come to an agreement. Any objections before we proceed?
I trust the traveler's judgment.
Then Paimon it is. And now, the world's most excellent traveler's greatest companion, guide, and friend, Paimon, will be refilling and lighting the incense for us. Here you go. Take the match, and don't burn yourself. But if things go really wrong, here's the 2-for-1 coupon. It's getting late. I won't take up any more of your time. You're all free to go as you please. Yep, the tea was amazing too. You don't have to go all polite on me. Just remember to come when I invite you next time. Let's see. It's dark out, so I'm going to accompany Xiangling, Xingqiu, and Chongyun back home. As for the rest of the guests, I'll leave them to our consultant.
No need. I'm headed towards the harbor to meet a friend on the ship. There's no need to trouble one such as Mr. Zhongli. I think you know the place I'm talking about. Come meet me anytime. It was great getting to know you all. Let's meet again when the spring breeze begins to blow.
Bye. Oh, we should write poetry together sometime. We'll catch you all later then. Don't forget to return to the parlor later. There's something I need you to do.
Understood. See you later. Well then.
Rex Lapis.
Just Zhongli will do. I live as a mortal in Liyue Harbor now. I am just one among many who begin work at sunrise and retire to rest at sundown. If we were to consider status and seniority as Zhongli, I should be respectfully referring to you as Adeptus Shao.
Heaven forbid. Not you too.
I meant what I said. I heard that during the LanternRite Music Festival, you conferred with Streetward Rambler and Cloud Retainer. I take it as you've gained a lot more knowledge about the past? The same truth will sound different coming from different people. As more bear witness to a story, feelings and interpretations expand in variety too. I once had a pleasant chat about the past and present with a Sumeru scholar named Soraya, and learned a few things about her research topic. From the evidence she found and the conclusion she made, her area of research is already very close to the truth. But there are multiple sides to humans and gods alike. In the legends recorded by humans, some gods were depicted as arrogant and condescending, while others were kind and capable. But whether to me, Streetward Rambler, Cloud Retainer, or younger adepti such as Shao and Ganyu, those adepti and gods that may seem extraordinary to humans are something more akin to close companions. This was as true back then as it is right now. Just how Shao may seem unapproachable to most, but the Traveler has proved otherwise. So there's no need to dwell too much on certain things.
Zhongli, what you're saying is...
It looks like you understood what I meant. The director asked me to accompany you on your return, but I don't think you'll need my protection. I'll be taking a walk around and admiring the night scenery. After that, it'll be time for me to go back and meet up with the director. Goodbye for now.
Bye, Zhongli. Everyone's gone now. Paimon always feels a little empty inside when a lively celebration ends. But at least you always stay by Paimon's side. No. Paimon got it mixed up. Paimon, the best and most distinguished travel guide. Well, good that you're aware of that. Shell, is there anything else you want to do? We could take you on a tour of Liyue Harbor.
No need. I've stayed here for much longer than I had expected. The city lights are a fine sight, but it's time for me to leave. The events of today occurred so abruptly. I appreciate your kindness. Okay. I'll see you next time then.